Patanjali, in his Yoga Sutras, propounds the Ashtanga Yoga, the yoga with Ashtanga or 8 limbs. These limbs are yamas, niyamas, asanas, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. These 8 limbs of yoga enable the adherent of yoga, the practitioner of yoga, the yoga sadhaka, to reach the goal of samadhi, wherein the miseries and sufferings of human life are once for all done with. This is. But if you look at from the point of view of personality study, then these 8 limbs of Patanjali's yoga describes the most comprehensive theory of human personality. We know that Western psychology generally talks about 3 aspects of human personality: the cognitive aspect, that is the intellectual; the cognitive aspect, that is the will, the determination, the action; and finally the affective aspect, which is the emotional or the feelings part of the human being. These are the 3 aspects which Western psychology talks about, or generally we consider human personality from these points of view. But if you look at the Ashtangas of Patanjali, then they bring out 8 different directions of human personality, dimensions of human personality. The yamas indicate the social dimension, the niyamas represent the personal dimension, asanas represent the physical dimension, what we refer to as the anatomy or the structure. Pranayam brings to fore the physiological dimension. Pratyahar brings about the mental aspect. And the last 3 angas, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, which put together comprise meditation in Patanjali's yoga. They bring about the psychological aspects, the intellectual aspects, and finally the spiritual aspects. So human personality, as can be abstracted or extracted from Patanjali's Yoga Sutras or the Ashtangas, has the social dimension, the personal dimension, the physical dimension, the physiological dimension, the mental dimension, the psychological dimension, the intellectual dimension, the spiritual dimension. Yamas are social observances or restraints. They take care of the social aspect, the interaction with other people of the individual. Niyamas are personal observances. They've got nothing to do with others, what I do with myself. They are the personal dimension. When you come to asanas, asanas have to deal more with the anatomy or structure of the body. That is why most of the time after doing asanas, we stand in front of the mirror and appreciate ourselves, because it becomes obvious in your structure. When you come to pranayam, pranayam brings about the physiological dimension. We say in the human body, there are pancha pranas, 5 pranas: the prana, the apana, the samana, the udana, the vyana. These 5 pranas and all pranas put together are responsible for all the functions in the human body, whether it is digestion, circulation, excretion, the nervous system. All the systems in the body are made healthy by pranayama practices. That is why pranayama is given a higher level than the asanas, because where asanas cater to more towards the appearance, pranayama caters more towards health of the systems. So pranayama represents the physiological dimension, the dimension of the systems in the body. Pratyahar, which involves withdrawal of the sense organs, starts addressing the mental aspect, because once the preoccupation with the external objects is over, the sense organs are withdrawn inside. Now you are occupied with yourself. That is pratyahar. Then comes the meditation in yoga, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Dharana is concentration, and the moment meditation starts happening, concentration starts happening to the exclusivity of all other distractions. When I start focusing my mind on some object, all the content of the mind, the unconscious mind, the suppressions, repressions start coming up. Patanjali talks about these as vitarkas or vicharas. These are the psychological aspects where catharsis happens, sublimation happens. I am free, getting lighter and lighter from all the baggage that I am carrying in the subconscious and unconscious layers of my mind. Meditation, when it goes deeper to the dhyana and the samadhi state, intuition starts happening. In yogic terminology, the yogi starts attaining to siddhis. Every state of samadhi is a state of knowledge. That knowledge is power, which we refers to as supernatural power, supernatural accomplishment, or a siddhi. And this samadhi finally leads to the spiritual goal of self-realization. So you see, from the outermost dimension of human personality, that is the social dimension, we go inwards to the innermost, that is our real self, which happens in the state of Dharmamegha Samadhi. So Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga not only gives the 8 dimensions of human personality, but also indicates the path of personality development, which involves going inwards from the externalmost dimension to the innermost dimension. So from our preoccupation with the external world where yamas come about, then with ourselves, niyamas, asanas, pranayam, I am going inwards and inwards and inwards, and finally I am reaching the goal of my existence, the purpose of life, the meaning of life, that is self-realization, or I become one with the truth or reality that I am. So Patanjali's Yoga Sutras not only gives the 8 dimensions of personality, it gives the path towards personality development and also the tools for those personality development, because the Ashtangas are the tools for the respective dimensions of personality, for purifying, for strengthening, for going inwards.